is getting an error code on his computer that things aren't working, but on my iPad it looks like we are on and we are working. We are happy to be here. We have Jesse and Tiffany are moderating in the chat for us. Thank you, ladies. We appreciate you being here. So this is a very busy week for us. So we're very happy that we can be here with you right now. So we have lots to tell you about. We don't have anything planned. There's nothing structured planned. So you are welcome to ask questions in the chat feed if you would like. You can ask anything about plant-based and we will attempt to answer them, and we will tell you if we can't answer your question. We just ask that you preface your question with 3 question marks and end with 3 question marks. That will just help them pop out at Tom, and that will be helpful for us. And we're just going to chat and hang out and tell you what's going on in our lives and what is coming up, because we have a lot coming up and we're very excited about it. So we're happy to be here and share. We did, for the month of January, we did have our batch beautiful chopped salad course on sale for 25% off. Many of you took advantage of that discount, and so we just want to say thank you so much for purchasing the course, and happy chopping to you. So if you have any questions about the course or any questions about chopped salads or the batch prepping of them, I'm very happy to answer those questions for you as well, because when we decided to start a whole food plant-based lifestyle, Dr. Furman was the first doctor whose book I read, and he said, remember that salad is the main dish, and you should be using it as a main dish for one of your main meals every day. And we have been consistently doing that almost 10 years. I think in March, I have to look at my blog, I believe March of 2013 is when I decided to take the big plunge and dive in with all 2 feet first, I guess I want to say. Can't say cold turkey, but I guess we could say cold tofurkey or cold tofu, because we don't eat tofurkey either. But anyway, so 10 years later, here we are. We're still eating a salad for one of our main meals every day. And once we discovered chopped salads, that was a huge game changer for us. We loved the salads before we started chopping them. And believe it or not, we love them even more now that we're chopping them. And so that's a really big thing in our lives. It has made being plant-based so much more exciting and fun and delicious, and we hope that you have the same results.
Are you talking about salads?
I am.
Hello, everybody.
All right, have you calmed down, honey?
I've been traumatized. I had this big yellow warning bar. Warning, your video stream is too low of a speed. It was fine. I just tested it. It was like 500 megabits per second. So anyway, now it says everything like it's wonderful.
So I was just standing there sitting there looking stupid.
Oh, you were looking beautiful. Okay, salads. She was talking about salads. Latest new discoveries I was going to say this spring. The sun is shining. It's a new year. Can I say spring?
It's not spring
It's a
yet.
little early. Okay.
Yeah.
This year.
But we're having some sunshine,
Okay.
so it feels like spring to us.
The salads are always changing. They're always different. They're always wonderful. Mm-hmm. But my two big discoveries, well, actually, Tami brought me one discovery. Pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are awesome. Goodness.
We learned about those from Sia when I was doing the modified intermittent fasting programs.
They add crunch and stuff in there. You get to bite them and they crackle. And then we learned at a seminar we went to last Sunday that they help your brain stay in good health.
They do. They're good for brain health.
Pumpkin seeds make you smart. So I must be so smart. And then there's celery. I started cutting stalks of celery in three scores the long way, and then chop them the other way, just a couple stalks, to make all these little celery stalk cube crouton thingies. And so then they add this delicious, refreshing crunch to your salad too. So
and the taste of sodium it makes it a little bit
Yeah.
saltier because they're naturally higher
So I'm
in
excited
sodium.
about my salads this week because of pumpkin seeds and celery. I'm going to go back to my, in case I'm oversharing, I'm going to go back to my.
You're not oversharing. They love to hear from you.
Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.
And any guys that are watching are like, yeah, let me see another guy who's eating plant-based. So anyway, let me look here and see if there's any questions. Jesse says, from our perspective, there was never a problem with either sound or video. Here he's back. He's back.
Gina, yes. I microwave my salads often. I use the corn, rice, and beans with some salsa filler in the middle. I put it in the 2-quart bowl, and I zap it for 1.5 minutes on high, so it's a warm salad. Now that's Tami's salad, with all the cruciferous vegetables in it, no lettuce, and so I'm not dealing with any limp or wilty things like that. But yeah, hot salad is certainly where it's at right now.
And I like
agree.
to take like the hearty lentil vegetable stew and heat that up and pour that over a chopped salad with some balsamic vinegar on it.
Do you hollow
my
out the
gosh.
middle and make a little?
I don't.
Yeah,
because I don't heat up my salad. I heat up the stew,
yeah.
and then I put that over top. Or I like to take, like if you have a really thick chili, I like to take a really thick chili, lentil chili or a bean chili, and heat that up and put that over the top. And then, I make the crunchy tortilla strips or the, sometimes I'll just put the whole tortilla in the air fryer, and then I'll just take it and crunch it up over the top. I love that.
Yeah, I take the time to take my tortillas. I make perfect little triangles. I put them in the air fryer, 375 degrees for 8 minutes.
You're such a type A.
And so my chips are like perfect.
They are.
And then she makes these like pile of shreds. So
I like the little shreds though, because you know what? Because I can get by with a really small amount of tortilla, and when you make chips and you're using them for a scoop for every bite.
Each chip is a single-use spoon. Each chip is a single unit.
You're helping
spoon.
the environment.
Yes, we're saving water by not washing utensils.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Now I am leaving.
Okay, you're so funny. So Stephanie Simpson has a really great question. Is the chopped salad booklet that's coming out on Friday the same as the one that I got in the bundle a year ago? No. So that's a great question. So what she's talking about is this booklet here that went with our beautiful chopped salad course. And this is what was in last year's Ultimate Weight Loss bundle. So we are in another bundle, and it will be launching on Friday, and we're doing a launch party right here, Nutmeg Notebook YouTube, at 7 a.m. Pacific, which will be 10 o'clock Eastern Time on Friday morning. So join us then, and that's when I'm going to be showing you and telling you all about our brand new course, Batch Cooking with Tami. I think you've got it there that you can put it in the ATEM. Batch Cooking with Tami Kramer. And this is, we are like extremely proud of this. I will tell you that it contains 32 videos all about batch cooking for a total of 15 hours of video. They're all broken up in modules so that you can watch them at your own pace. And then it also contains I want to call it a handbook / recipe ebook, because it has over 50 recipes. There's 14 brand new recipes. In the last week, I was able to add more new recipes, and so I'm super excited about that. And then it has so much information in it. So it started out as a much smaller course that we were going to make.
She didn't know when to stop. She kept having me add things to it. The 15 hours you mentioned, we don't intend for you to sit in your chair and watch 15 hours of videos.
Right.
There's an initial lecture from Tami. You'll want to do that and take some notes. Absolutely. But it's only like 35 minutes long or something. A lot of the other videos are those that you would like put your iPad or your PC on the countertop and start cooking away and listen to and talk to and cook with Tami as you're doing it. So some of them are kind of like participation videos, and others are purely instructional. So anyway,
and we're going to step through it on Friday, and we'll tell you a lot more about it on Friday. But and somebody else is asking, do you have a cookbook besides the chopped salad one? This is the other one.
Yeah.
This one here.
Because it has over 50 recipes in it.
So
108 pages.
Yeah, let's show them the top right. On the top row, the right one. Yeah.
Okay.
This is a brand new recipe that will be in the, you have to bring it over in the window.
I can only push one button at a time. I'm working on the buttons.
Okay, so this is an easy cornbread muffin, and it's gluten-free and absolutely delicious, and I put corn in it, and it's really, really yummy.
I always eat two.
And I did a lot of recipe testing. I tried making them with the date syrup, and they came out dark brown, and it really messed with our brain because our brain thought it was something sweet and not savory. And so actually I have to give credit to Randy Dolan, who's one of our moderators, because I was expressing my frustration to her, and she said, try using some dates and, you know, blending them with milk or something. And I did that, and it worked beautifully. So Randy, when you watch this replay, thank you so much. That was such a great tip, and these turned out fantastic. So that's a new recipe that will be in the new course and in our e-recipe book. And I'm super proud of it because I've wanted a cornbread recipe for us that didn't use maple syrup for years. So super excited about that.
Oh, what's that recipe?
So we will be, you're going to put that on? Well, I was going to save that kind of for last. But,
okay. Forget that. You don't forget that slide.
But how about go down the next row, and that soup to the right of those, that soup there. So here's another recipe that is brand new that will be in the ebook, and this is a potato leek soup. So back in October, my mom was making potato leek soup, and she sent me the recipe, and of course it had heavy cream in it, and she said, I bet you can veganize this. And so I said, yeah, I bet I can. And so I did, and then I tweaked it, and then COVID hit. We got COVID, and I couldn't taste, and that made it really difficult for recipe testing, because when you lose your sense of smell, you lose your sense of taste. And so I wanted to make it again because, you know, you guys, I love to recipe test multiple times before I publish anything to make sure that it's foolproof. And so I did, and I gave some to our daughter, and I said, you're probably really going to have to season it because it tastes really flat to me. And she went home and she heated it up and ate it, and then she called me and she said, don't do a thing to that recipe. It's like perfect. I said, really? She said, yeah. So I've really had to rely on Tom and our daughter to taste test things for me currently. I've gotten a lot of my sense of taste and smell back, but if it's not something that's heavily seasoned, I just cannot taste it. So anyway, super excited for you guys to get the soup recipe.
Did you see Christine's last question?
I have not.
Yeah, Christine was asking, how do you register for the bundle? The bundle has not launched yet. It launches this coming Friday, day after tomorrow, 7 a.m. right here in the Nutmeg Notebook kitchen. Each of us contributors to the bundle do have our own affiliate codes for the bundle. We would love it if you'd come back and join us and use the provided links. Tami spent about 3 months building the Batch Cooking with Tami course to be a flagship contribution to that bundle.
We both worked on it for 3 months.
Yes.
At least 8 hours a day, 7 days a week for the past 3 months.
She's the brains.
I could not do this without you, and you know that. I could not do like all the videotaping and the overhead shots, and I couldn't edit videos.
I'm an amazing IT department.
You are an amazing IT department. And when I would get stumped when I was making the ebook, then I would ask you for help, and you would.
No, absolutely,
so
it's a joint venture. But
yes.
the creative part is, Tami develops
and
the
it
recipes.
And here's what happened: it kept getting bigger because I'd be like, well, if I was taking the batch cooking class, I would want to know this. And so I'd be like, can we make another video? And he'd be like, okay. And so we would drag out all the equipment.
Yeah, the reason we're not still making videos is because there's no more time.
There's no more time.
It launches on Friday.
It does.
Yeah, so please
do. So he cut me off. But I'm very excited about it. I feel like it's a very comprehensive course. It's the information that I wish I had found when I first went plant-based 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because it would have made my life so much easier. It would have saved me so much frustration and so much time.
Yeah. So Friday we'll really get into what is in the bundle, and because we can't really share those details until we get to that point.
No.
But this is just
we can talk about what our course has, but we can't tell you about all the other amazing things.
It is a completely different bundle than last year. We can say that. This is not, there's no rerun. We were not allowed to submit anything that had been previously submitted. So that's why we built a whole new course.
Yeah. Can we show them another picture?
Yeah. And Rose, no, we can't talk about pricing or anything until
Friday
we're
at
under
7 a.m.
We're under a marketing embargo until that time.
That's
with strict limitations on what we can say. So please join us for all the information
on Friday.
And of course there will be a replay as well. And it does go on for
10 days.
For 10 days. So
it starts on
not
Friday.
You don't have just that one opportunity.
Right.
We'll be in communication with y'all throughout the bundle period. So
okay, so while you bring up the other
I'm
soup
going back
recipe,
I'm going back to the video thing.
I'll answer
soup recipe. What?
Yeah, the other soup.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's another soup, and this one I just developed 2 weeks ago because
so it's fresh soup.
Our daughter and her children were sick, and so I made food for them for a week. I fed them. And because, when you're a mom and you get sick and you have 3 little ones under the age of 6, whew, that's tough.
Doesn't that just make you think of something your mom would make for you?
Yeah, right? And so I asked my daughter one day, what does anything sound good? And she said, can you make like a quinoa minestrone? And I said, do you have a recipe? And she said, I don't. She said, I just kind of use whatever I have in the refrigerator and throw it together. And I said, okay, and our daughter is an amazing plant-based cook. And so, so I just winged it and threw this together, and I made like a huge 8-quart Instant Pot full of this soup, and I tasted it before I took it to them, and I made cornbread muffins. And it was so delicious that I took that over to them, and I came home and I made another pot of it for Tom and I. And it has a lot of potatoes in it because our grandchildren love potatoes, but they don't necessarily love beans and, all the other cooked vegetables. And so if it has a lot of potatoes in it, then, when they see it set in front of them, they're going to be like, oh, there's potatoes, and so then they'll eat it. So, so anyway, this is a brand spanking new recipe, but I did get to make it twice, and it turned out perfect both times. So I'm super excited. You guys are going to get that too in the batch cooking course if you decide to purchase it.
Adele has a question. Can I still order the chopped salad booklet? Yes, this is what we call an evergreen course.
But not just the book, it comes with the video course.
Oh no, this and the course are one thing. The video course has this in it. So can I still order it? Yeah, so you can still order the chopped salad course, which comes with this book, and it has 2.5 hours of instruction with it.
It does.
Yeah, 2.5 hours of video, because there's a lot of discussion about how Tami salads truly do last a week or more. and how they are so versatile and how you can change them up so dramatically day to day to day. Because we truly do eat one every single day.
And you can saute them because they don't have any lettuce in them. So if you decide that you want it to be hot, you can throw it in a skillet and saute it, which I often do in the winter time.
Yeah, so under the courses tab on Nutmeg Notebook, you click on the courses tab, and this course is what appears there. Or if you're on a mobile device, the 3 little dashes, you tap on those and on nutmegnotebook.com and open up courses, and it will take you to that class.
So Tom, there's a question addressed to you. Why are you so, Plants Only Muncher says, why are you so excited about celery? Is there a special benefit to celery?
There is a special benefit to celery because you used to put a lot of it into your Dr. Furman soup, didn't you?
Oh yeah, well, it gives you, it's naturally salty.
Yeah.
And so it adds a nice flavor.
My simple answer is
you like the crunch.
It's just fun. It adds, it changes things up. It's a fun crunchy. I'm on a celery binge. I'm also having celery in my dump soup, cutting up a couple stalks, big chunks in there so that I can stab them with a fork and eat them. But it changes up the texture and flavor of the salad. So, and it's kind of something you look forward to. When you eat a lot of something, then that's what you start craving. They say in a lot of the psychology of eating. And I'll start craving my salads and the corn and the corn chips and the beans and the salsa and or other times I loaded up with Tami's sprouts, whether she bought them or grew them herself. Still use the pumpkin seeds
and microgreens.
And I'll throw frozen corn in there and the beans and some granular rice, either basmati or brown rice, and go ahead and eat it cold with a good dose of some kind of fun vinegar. Again, huge variety of flavors on that from California balsamic. So, part of our whole eating style is fundamental, basic add-in ingredients that you can then, on hand, that we can change up any way. We always eat together every meal. We rarely eat the same thing at the same time.
Yeah, it's true. So Laura is...
I still got that window.
I lost it. Laura Ball says, hello. I was amazed at how much greens you eat. I remember from another video that you go through about a pound of lettuce in a day. So 7 pounds in a week. Woohoo! Well, we have cut back on the size of our salads. So let me tell you about that. Which camera am I on, honey?
You are on your camera.
Okay.
I've got this secondary window. There, it's gone. The secondary window was stuck open.
Okay. So when we started a year or 2 ago, whenever it was that we got back into sprouting, and first I was buying sprouts and then we started sprouting, but I do buy microgreens. I haven't gotten into that yet. But when we started adding the sprouts and the microgreens to our salads, even though they're very tiny, but they are so packed with nutrients that we were getting too full from our salads. And so I started cutting back. And I think we weighed them one time and they're about 12 ounces now. They used to be about a pound, but they're around 12 ounces now before we start adding things to them, just because we were getting too full and sometimes I couldn't finish the salad. I would just get too full and I would end up, putting some of it in a container and eating it later in the day. So anyway, and also I want to say that when you eat really clean, like we eat really clean, then you really can taste the flavor of the simplest veggies all on their own, like celery, like carrots, like cucumbers. All of those, just the flavor of them becomes more pronounced when you aren't coating everything with sugar, oil, and salt. And so then we get really excited about just plain fruits and vegetables. It's so fun. Gina says, I love potato leek soup. That's awesome. I hope that you will love mine as well. Tiffany says, wow, these pictures are phenomenal. Thank you so much. And Yes, you will get all of the information, everybody, on Friday morning about the bundle. Excuse me. If you want, join us at 7 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah,
we're going to have a launch party.
Yeah, we're gonna take a measure of commitment and see who really shows up at 7 in the morning. I'm going to be looking at names.
We have to think of something fun that we can do Friday morning.
Tofu scramble?
That you want me to work. You want me to go to work. He wants me to make something. I wasn't saying something fun to eat. I was saying we need to do something fun. I don't know.
Tofu scramble, Tami's darn good vegan sausages, some gluten-free oat waffles. It could be okay. I don't think that's happening.
No. We have to get up early. We have to set this all up. Like, you guys don't have any idea what our kitchen looks like right now. Like, we have this big kitchen table that seats 12, and right now it's covered with plastic containers for all of the electronics. And we have studio lights up, and we have 2 cameras out there, and we have an extra table set up over here with monitors and the computer and all the electronics that Tom needs.
On screen here, it just looks like you're in your cozy little kitchen.
I know it does, but I'm looking at this like it looks like a.
Don't be stressed.
I'm not stressed at all. It looks like a studio. It looks like a film studio. So Laura wants to know how the name Nutmeg Notebook came about. In 2009, was it? Yeah, that's when I started my first blog in 2009, and it was about healthy cooking. And so I needed a name for it, and we were sitting around with our daughter trying to think of names, what we could name it. And then, you'd think of a name, and then you Google it, and then you find out, somebody else already has that name. And I had recently, like in the previous year, had discovered fresh nutmeg, and I was crazy about fresh nutmeg. And I keep recipes when I'm recipe testing in a notebook, and that's something that my grandmother did. And I have some of her notebooks because she would listen to some radio shows. There was one out of Iowa called Kitchen Clatter, and we grew up in Nebraska, and she would listen to this Kitchen Clatter radio station program every week, and they would give recipes and talk about recipes, and so she would write them down in a notebook. So that's how it came about. Well, let's think about the things that you love, and you love nutmeg.
That's what they did before YouTube. They had the Kitchen Clatter show on the radio.
Yeah.
It was just like what we do.
Yeah, just like what we do, but it was audio only.
Yeah.
And my grandma, like, she knew the ladies that did the talking. They always talked about their families, and so it was great. So that's where it came from. Nutmeg Notebook. Nutmeg because I love nutmeg, and notebook because my grandma and I like to put our recipes in notebooks, and I still do that today.
Yeah, see, Tiffany's wondering if there's going to be food too.
If there's going to be food on Friday?
Yeah. So the time zones folks are talking about. So it's 7 a.m. Pacific, and then that'll be 8 Mountain,
9 Central,
and 10 Eastern.
That's right.
And then if you
live outside of the U.S.,
you've already got this figured out on your own. If you're in United Kingdom or Australia, or India, or one of our other places that we have folks living in.
Yeah. So Michelle says, do you two do your own food styling and photos? I do all the food styling, and I do all the photos. And then Tom does all the video.
The photos, and help with the photographics post shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I have something...
Editing, I edit some of the photos.
Yeah, if I have something and I need it to be separated from its background or something, or if there's a little spill on the rim of something, then I give that to Tom, and because he's really good at going in and removing the tiniest little thing. Like, he had to do a little bit of that to the front of this.
Oh yeah, this pumpkin seed right here.
It had a little bit of hummus.
It had a little bit of hummus sitting on top of it, and it just wasn't where it belonged. And so I got out my mouse and I removed that hummus with my mouse.
Yeah, so he does fine little details like that for me, but I do all the photography. So, and I just use my my iPhone. He got me a nice little camera when I first started my blog, but now the iPhone camera is so exceptional that it's handy. It's just always what I use because it's easy. So yeah, Tiffany wants to know, you're going to serve us breakfast at the launch party? Probably not. But I might show you some food. I might be showing you some food. Depends on what I can get done tomorrow.
Did you see Jennifer Diamond's question?
She says, Jennifer says, when the veggie drawers are filled with fresh greens, moisture collects. The food doesn't last. I tried all types of containers with carbons. Any tips for keeping greens fresh without the moisture? So if you wrap them in a towel, it could be paper towels, it could be cotton kitchen towels, that will help. I don't, do I have my Fridge Love book here?
And then sometimes if things are really wet from the store, like a bag of something, she will open it up and dump it out on a towel on the counter and dry it out some. Because you're right, if stuff is really wet, it's going to do itself in.
Yep.
And then when she washes, we buy a lot of organic, and so it's often dirty since it's organic. So she'll wash that off, and she stacks. I'll come down and there'll be a stack of vegetables, drip drying in the dish drainer before she puts it back in the fridge. So yeah, the moisture is a problem. You want to get rid of that one way or another.
Yeah, and so like the greens, I don't wash until I'm going to use them. And for our salads, I buy pre-washed. So So
they've been kind of washed and dried already?
They already have. Yeah. I buy the organic greens that have already been triple washed, and that makes a really big difference. So this is my favorite book, you guys, to give you as a guide when you are trying to figure out where to store things in your fridge.
I'll go grab that link and drop it in the show notes.
Okay, and also what type of refrigerator makes a difference on where you should put things. And so in this book, Kristen Hong tells you if you have, a double door like I do, a refrigerator with French doors and the freezer on the bottom, where you should store things versus if you have a side by side or you have a refrigerator that has the freezer on top. So here's what she says about curly kale. That you can, she likes to fill her sink with cold water and soak the kale for 10 minutes, then rinse each leaf individually, and then, she examines each one to make sure there aren't any little aphid colonies on it. And then, let's see. She says that if you get it whole unwashed from the farmer's market, that it will usually last 10 to 14 days in a partially open plastic, cotton, or linen bag in the crisper drawer. And if you are storing it with high ethylene producing foods, keep the bag fully closed. So, and she tells you in this book which produce has the high ethylene. So, you really have to get the book. Supermarket, if you buy it at the supermarket, kale will usually last 7 to 9 days in a plastic bag and 6 to 8 days in a cotton or linen bag in your crisper drawer. If you chop it or tear it by hand, it will last 7 to 9 days in a glass food storage container or a glass jar. And if you lightly steam or saute it, it will last 7 to 9 days in a glass food storage container or a glass jar. So, she took and she tried all different kinds of storage methods and then kept track of what worked for how long. So she's just meticulous about what she did to get the information for this book. So this is like your kitchen Bible. So whenever I'm wondering about something, I pull out her book. And somebody had asked me if my batch cooking course would include that kind of information. It does not, and the reason is because this is a whole book. And so, you know, it would have been like that, the class would have been so long then. So, but I do highly recommend getting her book because I'm able to make my fresh herbs last so long now. I think I'm looking at the wrong camera. When you switch, babe, you need to tell me so that I know.
You're on your camera.
Oh, well, I wasn't. I was talking to that one.
Well, all of those people are over there now.
Well, okay, I'm moving.
Will you guys hold
So
still so Tami knows where you are?
You keep moving me. So anyway, this is a really great book, a wonderful resource, and worth every penny because like my fresh herbs aren't going to waste on me now because I'm using her tips and it's really, really working. Okay, and we have a video where we interviewed her and she allowed us to put that video in our batch cooking course, and you can also watch it on YouTube if you want to watch it on YouTube. So she is absolutely amazing. Okay, so I think I'm caught up on questions, Tom.
Well, no, we're not. But,
Oh,
but
I'm
you want
not.
to cover something else? There's something further up that we didn't cover.
Okay. Sorry, I'll go back up. Jennifer says, I fill notebooks with recipes also, but they aren't organized and sometimes hard to find. Tips for organizing them? Well, of course, what I do is, you know, once I'm going to publish it, then I go ahead and I put it on my blog, and then that way I know where they are and I can find them. But what you can do is you can create your own home recipe book. So if you get Canva, which is an app, and you can get it for your computer, or you can get it for your smartphone or your iPad or your tablet, whatever kind of tablet you have. And in there you can use templates to make your own recipe book. So either do that or type them up and put them in a PDF, and you can make different files on your computer. So you could have one for desserts, one for breakfast, one for soup, and so forth.
Okay, I've got another question for you. This is a quick one from Annette. In your conversations with when intermittent fasting, do you recall if caffeine-free green tea counts as, you can have it without breaking the fast, or does it officially break the fast? Caffeine-free.
Yeah, I believe you, Tiffany, verify this for me because Tiffany is certified to do modified intermittent fasting, but you can supposedly have some tea. When I did Sia's program, we didn't have tea because she was like, even like herbal tea, I don't know what's in the herbal tea for sure. So better to just like not have it and just stick with water and the broth that you make, the homemade broth that you make, to know for sure. So because you just never know, like, what have they added to the tea. Okay.
Tell everybody I'm going to do a quick battery change on our sound transmitter.
Okay, Tom's going to do a quick change of batteries on our sound monitor.
I see the warning light flashing.
Yeah, we're getting a warning light. So for just a second, you won't. Okay, so this is Dr. John Scharfenberg, and he is 99 years young. I do want to say years young. And you may have seen him on Chef AJ's program. She interviewed him recently, and she invited him to come to a meetup we were having at the Vegan Himalaya restaurant. And I had the great honor of getting to sit next to him. And you'll notice, or maybe not, that he did not eat.
Where is your phone? Because you probably got a text that there
Over
was
there.
no sound.
Because my phone's about to die.
Oh.
I couldn't find the charger over there because it's being used on one of the phones.
Yeah, here's Jesse saying no sound.
Well, we did warn that there was not going to be sound because Tom had to change batteries out. So, so anyway, I got to sit next to him. He did not eat dinner because he does intermittent fasting, and he eats breakfast and lunch, but he doesn't eat dinner. And he has been doing that like forever. And he raised his kids doing that as well. And I asked him, what do you think the secret to longevity is? And he said, movement in your middle years. And he said, and I'm not talking about going to the gym either. He said, I'm talking about having an active lifestyle. And he said he did a tremendous amount of gardening. Like they bought a big acreage and he planted trees and he had a garden, and you know, he was splitting wood for the fireplace and doing all kinds of things like that. And so do we have sound now, Tom?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Jesse says if you don't have sound, restart your YouTube. But I think
No, she says there is sound now.
Okay, great.
Sound is fine.
Okay, great.
Yeah, the sound I had when I switched the batteries, I didn't turn it back on.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. So anyway, he was so delightful. I started asking him about, you know, like, what is a typical day of eating? What is that like for you? And then he started telling me about how his wife used to make the best waffles, and, you know, they weren't with white flour and eggs, and, you know, she made them with oats and water, and she did use a couple teaspoons of oil in them, and he was like, and then we would top them with something special made with bananas. Do you have any idea what that would be? And I said, banana ice cream, and he giggled and he was like, yes, that's right. And then she would take grape juice and she would thicken the grape juice, and that would become like their syrup. And I'm sure it was, you know, the dark grape juice, not the white grape juice. And he talked about the waffles a lot. And I said, does anybody make you waffles now? And he said, no, I haven't had those in years. But so that was fun. You could tell that he was just enjoying the memory of what his wife made and all the food that she made. And they homeschooled their children, and it wasn't fashionable back then. In fact, it was illegal to homeschool your children. It was illegal to not send your kids to school. So anyway, he was just very inspirational, an absolute total delight to talk with. And he came to that dinner just for the socialization of it, because he doesn't eat in the evening. He's not hungry in the evening. He's not used to eating in the evening. It didn't bother him to sit and watch us eat at all. And Tom, let's show the food that we had at the, can we show the food that we had? The soup first. Go up to the top. There's the soup. So at the Himalayan restaurant, it is a gentleman who's the chef, had been a monk. He was from Tibet. He had been a Tibetan monk, and he learned as a young boy. They gave him an apprenticeship to learn how to be a chef, and he went on to then eventually move to the San Francisco area, and he worked for his uncle who had a restaurant not dissimilar to the one that he has now, close to where we live. This is in Sacramento, California, and it's the Vegan Himalaya restaurant, and everything is vegan and everything is organic, and it is sugar-free and gluten-free. And because there's such a big group of us that are also salt and oil-free, he makes salt and oil-free food for us. And so this was a split pea soup that night. Sometimes it's a mung bean soup. It's really delicious. And then you get a plate of food, and you get to choose if you want to have the full-size plate or the small plate. And Tom and I get the full-size plate, and this is what you get. But the variety on the plate changes from day to day. You always get a raw salad, that's on the right, with an oil-free, sugar-free, salt-free dressing. And then you get some type of a grain that's there in the middle. Then you get vegetables, which are at the top of the plate. Some kind of sauteed or steamed vegetables, and then you get steamed greens, and he puts some kind of a sauce on them, and then it's a different bean every day. And so super simple food that we love, and very, very filling and very low calorie density. And this is all that's on the menu every day. It's just that either full plate or a small plate and soup. And then he does make some desserts, but the pies that he makes do have some coconut products in them, although for that particular evening, he knew that there were 20-some of us coming, and so he did make an avocado pie, so that had no coconut in it, and then just an oat and date crust. And we didn't get it. We get full just the dinner menu, but it was absolutely delicious. So we're very fortunate that we live in an area where the owners of some small vegan restaurants are very willing to make SOS-free food for us. And we don't eat out a lot, but we feel, really grateful when we do get to eat out that we can enjoy food like that. So I guess I'm telling you this because I think it's well worth it. At a restaurant in Rockland, California called Vegan Pho, they have on the menu something called Tami Special. You won't see it on the wall menu, but it's in their computer, and it's something that they've created for me, where they make oil-free veggies for me, and then they use some broth. It does have some salt in it because they don't have a salt-free broth, and she just thickens it with a little bit of cornstarch and then garlic, and it has wonderful seasonings in it, and they put it over brown rice for me. And so other people here in the area go in and order the Tami's Special. But we got to know the owners, and I told her how I eat, and asked her if she could make something for me, and so she does. And in fact, we had lunch there today. We went to Staples because they're printing this and they're gonna bind it for us, and so we went there and dropped that off, and we were close to that restaurant, so we went there for lunch. And I just love that they will accommodate us. So, don't give up hope. Ask at your places if they'll do something. Okay, so the next thing up that I wanted to tell you guys about today, how are we doing on time? We're doing good.
Okay.
Is the Truth About Weight Loss Summit is coming up. And this is a summit that Chef AJ does every year, and she's been doing this for, I don't know, is this like the 5th or 6th year?
I don't know.
Something like that. I'll have to ask her. So we're always grateful that she asks us to participate. And this year, she asked specifically for Tom to do a cooking demonstration. And Tom, she asked him to do a certain thing. So, and that is Tom's dump soup. And she was over here one day when he was just finishing up making his lunch. And so, of course, she had to take a peek in the Instant Pot and see what he had. And she was like, oh my gosh, this looks amazing. I would totally eat this. You have to come on the summit and make this. And so we did. We pre-recorded it. We don't know which day it will be on, but the summit starts on February 18th, and it goes through the 26th, so there will be 8 days, and all of your favorite doctors and plant-based people will be presenting.
And you can sign up now. That link is in the show notes.
Yes, and so Tom put the link in the show notes. It's free, and so you do need to sign up for it. Use our link and sign up for it. If you decide that you want to purchase it, you can purchase the digital copy of it so that you can watch, because everybody who speaks, their video only stays up for like 24 hours. And so, Dr. Greger, Dr. McDougall is going to be on there, Dr. Furman, Dr. B, Dr. Lyle. So all the wonderful greats that we all like to hear what they have to say. And it's all about weight loss and health. Because, the same diet that's good for losing weight and maintaining your weight is the same diet that's good for reversing lifestyle diseases. And so all of the information is applicable to your plant-based life, whether you have weight to lose or not. But there will be some specialists that will be giving hints and tips and information specifically about weight loss as well. So, and you'll get to see Tom. I get to be his sous chef, and Tom will be making his dump soup in that video. So that's pretty fun. All right. The other thing I wanted to let everybody know about Tom is the what I'm doing on Goodself with Sia. And I think I've got a nice little, you're actually going to be on that show with me. So next week, for some of you who don't know, we are on a new social media platform that is just for health and wellness, and it is called Goodself. And we are doing on Tuesdays what they call a good talk with our friend Sia from 60 Living, and she's in Greece. So at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesday mornings, we get together and we do a 55-minute audio-only talk. And it is free. The app is free and the talk is free. And we choose a different topic each week. And next week, my guests, because Sia can't make it, my guest will be Sia's husband, Dominic, and my husband, Tom.
And Dominic's the guy standing next to me.
Yeah, and that's Dominic standing next to Tom. We actually got to meet them in Greece in 2021 and spent an entire day with them. They hosted us and took us all around and made this like fabulous picnic for us on the beach, and we just felt like we were old friends with them. It was so wonderful. So anyway, Tom and Dominic are going to be talking about their plant-based journey, and they're going to be sharing with us why it was so easy.
Yeah, this photo was taken on our way to the beach where we had our beach picnic lunch that Sia had prepared for us. Was under the bluffs of the mountain where the temple of Poseidon was, and parts of it are still up there, the columns and
we got to go up and tour it.
Yeah, and so we literally had a beach picnic below the actual temple of Poseidon, which I just thought, growing up, that was a mythical thing. It's a real place. There really is a temple of Poseidon. So,
and it's a very special place to see. Her and her father loved going there. And so that was just wonderful. So we're having a great time doing the good talks. Tom, people are asking us if they are recorded so that you can listen to the replays. And we have managed to record them, and Tom is working on editing them, and then we will be able to post them on our account, on the Goodself account. And they are audio only, which is great because you can be doing other things then while you're listening to us. And hopefully we're going to be pretty busy for the next 10 days doing the bundle, but hopefully sometime
it's on my list of credits.
It's in his list of things to do.
Yeah, no, actually two of the podcasts are already recorded and ready to upload, but Goodself, being a new platform, only lets Tami upload from her iCloud Photos file on her phone. And so I have to figure out how to get these edited sound files into the iCloud in Photos/videos so she can grab them there. So actually two of them are done. I just am trying to figure out how to move these files.
Right.
So
we haven't got that figured out yet. Yeah. But if anybody knows how we can do that, send us an email to Tom.
I've been doing some Google research,
Notebook.
And my last one I found the guy was going in and doing a small amount of code writing. So it's evidently not straightforward because there's an awful lot of confusing information on how to do it and no one clear right way. So anyway.
Well, we could ask our son-in-law. We asked our son, and he didn't know.
Yeah.
But we could ask our son-in-law because our son-in-law might have an idea as well.
Yeah.
He could. So anyway, if you want to join us there, it is all health and wellness. There's, it's nice because you don't have politics, you don't have ads. There's not all the junk that there is on Instagram and Facebook. So that's one thing that we really like about it. And the app is free. Go to your App Store or Google Play to get it. And they do ask you for your phone number. And people always ask us, why do they ask for your phone number? And the reason they ask for your phone number is because your phone number is unique to you. And it prevents people from being able to create multiple fake accounts. So I can't tell you how many people I have to block on Facebook, and Facebook is worse than Instagram, but on Facebook or Instagram because they are what is called trolls on the internet, and they just want to come on and say mean and hateful things. And if they get shut down, they can just create another fake account and keep being nasty. And so what that does is it blocks people from creating fake accounts and coming on to the app. So because they want the app to be a safe place for people to get concrete, relevant health and wellness information.
Angela has to go. She says goodbye and thank you.
Oh, thank you for joining us, Angela.
A question from Mona about can this be kept indefinitely if purchased? If you're talking about
the courses,
if you're talking about our, because I'm not sure which course you're talking about. If you're talking about this chopped salad course, once you buy it, you have access to the PDF. You can download into your computer, and you will have it. The related videos that are tagged in that course will stay up as long as Nutmeg Notebook continues. So so that's something we would measure in years, I presume. So
we sure hope so.
So you don't there's not it doesn't time out or anything. Again, we call these evergreen courses. It's our intention to leave them up as long as we are running Nutmeg Notebook. The original course we did, it was a Mexican Fiesta class. It was done years ago when we were just starting out, and it lived a lifespan, and we did take it off the platform because it was really, we evolved in how we prepared things, but also it was really below the technical standard of what we'd expect a course to be. So,
well, we videotaped a
live
cooking class that we did with 20-some people here, and there was a lot of background noise and interruptions. And
so it wasn't optimal. But that one, if somebody that bought that, wanted to have the recipes, I just email it to them, because we still have the old file. But anyway, these will be up for quite some time.
Yes.
If it's something in the bundle, you have just 1 year. To download anything out of a bundle, because those time out
at 1 year.
The ones that we're in.
But we'll give details about that on Friday.
Yeah.
As well.
So hopefully that was your question.
Yeah, but you'll get the PDF. You just download the PDF to this to your whatever device you have. Like I put it on my computer, and I also have it on my iPad, and then I will always have it. So I have it in a file on the computer, and we save it, and then I also have it on my iPad, and then if you choose, you can print it. This one is 100 pages, so it'll use up a lot of your ink. I did do white pages so that there would not be ink wasted on a colored background.
Yeah, and for those of you that are handy with a phone or an iPad or your laptop, I will be linking the table of contents so that if you click on potato leek soup, it will immediately take you to the potato leek soup page. You don't have to scroll and scroll and scroll or grab the sidebar and move in.
And who do we owe that feature to?
That was a wonderful idea from our moderator, Jesse Bunker Maxwell, who is with us here today. Jesse, thank you. I practiced yesterday on one of our other previous versions of the document, and I did 5 of them and tested the links, and they worked. And so now I've told Tami I will spend tomorrow linking all 50 plus recipes. Actually, Jesse should come over and help with this. It was her idea.
That's a great idea. Jesse, what are you doing
So anyway,
tomorrow?
my tomorrow is going to be spent linking. I'm going to link around tomorrow. So
yeah. So Gina says, thanks, Tom. She did pay for that Mexican class, and she was wondering where it went.
Okay.
So if she needs anything from it, you can.
Yeah, I have the recipe files. And so send me an email to tom@nutmegnotebook.com, and I will email you the PDF with all the recipes in it that were in there. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing with that.
And do you still have the videos housed unlisted on YouTube or not?
Yeah, mention that in the email. If you want me to look for a video link, I'm sure they're buried in there somewhere. Yeah, it's probably buried down there.
Okay.
4 or 5 years back. Yeah. So yeah, let me know what you're after. If you bought the course, then we'll give you a backup of that.
Yeah, okay? Absolutely.
Yeah, the original one that we sold on Yondo, our first platform, those were timed out. Those were rentals that lasted 90 days.
Right, because
And
we
so
had to pay for storage.
We had
for
to pay
those.
for media storage, and so we were renting it back in the original. Whether you were in that group or not, I don't care at this point. But then later we brought it onto our own platform, and then that's when we made it available for longer and stopped calling it a rental.
Tiffany said she paid for that Mexican class too. So Tiffany, if you need the recipes from that, the PDF from that, or access to the videos.
She didn't download them when she had it and put them in
Email,
her file?
I don't know, email Tom.
Maybe
Tom,
that computer died.
Tom at Nutmeg Notebook.
Maybe she needs a new computer. Do you need me to send you a computer too? No, wait, that's going too far.
Yeah, that's going too far.
Okay.
Yeah, so if anybody did get that Mexican Fiesta class, let us know. We left it up for like 4 or 5, let's see, how old is our oldest granddaughter?
Jessie
6.
said that
So-
she would be glad to help, but really, truly, it is the next thing I'm going to be doing. Like, I'm going to be working on it tonight while we're watching TV. So I hope the links go to the right place.
Well, I told you I could do it too. I could start at the other end and work back if you want me to, instead of
we might do that.
scanning.
We might do that. Okay.
Okay, we'll see. If
All
you
right.
lived closer,
Okay.
we totally
we
put
could
you to
email her
work.
the whole, but by the time I downloaded the thing and then emailed it over to her, then
You could have it done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's crazy.
all right.
How fun is this? Fun, fun, fun. Well, I was worried that we weren't going to have enough to talk about to stay on for an hour since I didn't prep anything, but we had lots to talk about today.
Yeah.
That always happens, doesn't it?
Tiffany said she'd love a new computer. I've got just the computer for her.
Oh,
We now have the Nutmeg Notebook micro laptop. And I can drop this in a bubble pack mailer and send it to you.
Oh, that
and it
is
has
so
actual
funny.
numbers on it and a number of buttons that you can push and feel like you're really technologically advanced.
this is a little
This is the
timer.
kitchen timer, but our granddaughter latched onto this when she was really little, and she was sure that it was a computer just for her.
Well, now the twins do
The twins
the same
do
thing.
the same thing. They push the button and
They
it
love
beeps.
it. They're like,
It's their toy
Lita,
computer.
can I play with that computer? And
Yeah.
they have the best time with that.
Yeah.
They think it's a little computer. It's so cute. So cute. So, okay, what else is happening?
Oh,
Did
Jessie
we-
says if she lived closer, she would actually be living with us.
Oh, well, Randy wanted to know today if I would adopt her.
Yeah.
And I said, well, we'll adopt her and Tiffany will adopt her. And then we'll each take her for 6 months at a time. I said, do you want to go to Texas in the winter
Yeah.
or the summer? And
Yeah.
you can come here the other 6 months.
Mona wants my little computer too.
She does too. Although I told her I was a strict parent.
Yeah.
I said, I'm strict. Jessie,
Family meetings. There were family meetings. Our children used to dread family meetings.
I don't know if they dreaded them.
I'd say, okay, we need to have a family meeting. Oh, no.
You're the one that dreaded family meetings.
Okay, we better wrap it up, miss. It's 4:09.
I know. We've got to eat dinner and we've got to work on that feature for the bundled package.
All right, so all right, pajamas, cup of
Pajamas.
tea, Friday morning, before work.
Yes, we have to look decent, but that doesn't mean you guys do. I mean, well, I guess we could show up in our pajamas, but
Yeah.
that's not my style.
We could have a theme. Reeves and Dylan would show up in pajamas.
Well, they probably would. I have that really nice new UGG
Yeah.
robe that's so cozy, but I need to. I would be kind of embarrassed to show up in my pajamas.
Okay. All right. Susan, is this
Jessie says that Randy does windows. That's good. I need somebody that does windows right now. And if somebody wants to do the dishes, I would
Yeah.
be so happy.
Yeah, Susan's got a good question here. We have, where do we have our links collected near the bottom of the blog? Yeah, well, a couple of things, Susan, is if you subscribe to the newsletter, I used to actually list them in there, but the list kind of got too long.
So if there's something specific that you're interested in, we need to do just an affiliate page. We need to make a page on the blog
Right.
that is all of our affiliates.
What's on the shop page when you go there? When you go to the shop page, is there a collection of
I
affiliates
don't
there?
think so.
Let me find that.
So our Amazon link, our chopped salad course, and the Holland Bowl are all on the bottom of just about every blog post on the blog at nutmegnotebook.com. But if there's something else specific that you're looking for, we have local spicery, we have Well Your World.
You know, in the show notes of this video,
is a lot of them.
Are most of them. If I can just, where am I? Yeah, I can drop this. I think I just got to close this right here, right there. We don't need that. So now I can put this on screen. So this is the show notes below this video. And so once we get past the blurb here about Goodself, there's all of our Amazon links right here, our Vitamix corporate link, local spicery, California balsamics, our beautiful chopped salad course, a direct link. We promote the Beet Boost beet juice company for vascular health. Super Cubes, we love those. Holland Bull Mill, free mezzaluna, and that takes you straight to a page of Tami's that explains how you get the free mezzaluna. Ninja Creamy, we're fans of. So yeah, they're pretty much all right here in the show notes of this. You know, Sprout Man for the sprout seeds. Mama Says for ready-made dinners.
Tell her how to find this.
If you're on a smart device, it can be a little tiny chevron that shows you the show notes. If you're on a computer, you just click on Show More.
On my iPad, it says More.
It just says More on the iPad. Yeah. So that's where all that information is, and that's going to be the bulk of them.
And
right
if we have a discount code or anything, it will say it there.
Right. Yeah, like Joy Plant Milk. That's our affiliate link, and then use code Nutmeg for 10% off, for instance. Which I need to make more. I used up the last of my pre-made Joy milk. I got to make up a new batch.
Put it on the list, babe.
Okay.
We got a lot of stuff to do.
Okay, was that the last question?
Let's see.
I was going to add, and this is premature, you know, people are talking about access to recipes for the long term, because recipes, once you get a family favorite, it does stay in the family for decades. We understand that. And a lot of Tami's recipes are becoming family favorites. We are hearing from folks across the land. And so it is one of our long-term projects, and the 50 recipes plus in here and some others that are scattered around, that one of our upcoming projects will be formally a recipe book with Tami's standards in it, and of course some new ones. So that's coming, because it really,
that means I'd have to do more recipe testing.
I mean, the back half of this book, there's 50 pages of recipes here.
Well, not in that one. There's not 50 pages.
Oh, in the new one, yeah.
In the new one.
Well, there's more than 50 pages.
There's more than 50.
How many?
There's more than 50 recipes in the new one, and 14 of them are new recipes.
So there's probably 60 pages.
And the others are going to be the
supporting materials.
The favorites. Oh, look how the Nutmeg Notebook didn't.
It got clipped?
It got clipped.
Oh, she put a border on it. She shouldn't have put a border on it.
Just noticed that.
Well, we'll work on that.
Well, we'll see how the copy looks. That's not a...
Yeah, that should be a full page. There should be no border.
That's not a deal breaker.
Okay. All right.
Okay, Susan says she found them.
Okay, great.
And Dave says, so many great recipes from all of you great whole food plant-based influencers. Yeah, there's so many recipes to go around. There's so many wonderful people in the plant-based community that have YouTube channels and blogs and create wonderful SOS-free recipes. So there's no shortage of that, that's for sure. Yeah. So, well, let's hope that everyone can join us on Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern, or wherever it falls in between for you. And we will be on probably for at least 2 hours that morning, on Friday morning, this coming Friday. We will be talking about our new batch cooking course.
What time is it in the Netherlands? We have our folks in the Netherlands.
I don't know, and we have a lot in Australia too. We have a big following in Australia, which is so interesting. So we'll be sharing with you guys the other really awesome products that are included in the bundle. I've just started to go through, and it's overwhelming. And we will tell you that for the 10 days starting on Friday, I will be doing collaborations with other people who have products in the
other people
bundle.
And even if you've already signed up with us for the bundle, that's great. But if we're on Tuesday and she has a new guest on, you can learn about their contribution to the bundle.
Right.
And it might bring focus to something that you also want to hear about, because there is a lot to choose from in the bundle. And Tami is going to be highlighting what resonates with her, and maybe it will also with you. So even if you can join us on Friday and get signed up, don't be shy about coming back for a couple other visits to learn about the other opportunities that are hiding in that big bundle. It's a big one.
Very easy to miss things in it because there's so much amazing content.
Okay.
I'm overwhelmed. It's amazing.
All right.
All right, so that's it. Thank you, Jesse and Tiffany, for being here with us and helping us. You guys are amazing. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tami.
For everything that you've done. I'm Tami.
And I'm Tom.
And we help you get healthy and
stay healthy. One bundle at a time.
Oh, one bundle at a time. You didn't tell me you were going to say that. Okay.
Or one summit at a time, or one meal at a time.
Or one good talk at a time.
Or one good talk at a time.
Wow, we're busy. I thought we were retired. What happened to that?
Week after next.
Oh, you all are my witnesses.
Week after next, we're going to take one day off.
I've got it on tape.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
guys.
See you Friday.
I've got to push a button.
Push a button, Tom.
Okay, over here. All right, here we go. Bye.